Hi, Jamie. How are you doing today?
Trey, how you doing? I'm just putting on more lip balm because I travel. I flew over from LA, from London yesterday. Lips
Oh,
are not
wow.
in shape, so there you go.
Wow, you're probably still jet lagged and stuff.
Yeah, I feel all right.
Well, I'm so excited to chat with you about The Tourist, which is such a compelling series. Like, I don't think I knew even what to expect. And like, even then, I feel like it still just like blew my whatever I expected of the
Yeah.
show, like, period. And first, I wanted to ask you, this is your biggest TV project in a while after doing a lot of films. So, why was this the project to bring you back for such a substantial TV role?
Well, kind of what you said there at the beginning of just like the unexpectedness of it, like, and just the constant like state of flux I had as a reader reading it and thinking that the audience are going to go on this insane ride for 6 hours where pretty much everything is offered up. There's from genre bending ideas of what you think it is that you're in for. That's so exciting as an actor. That could have come in a different form. I'm not someone who's precious about only doing films, only doing TV or whatever. And there's television I've sort of nearly done in that time when I've been doing a lot of movies, but I didn't. So for me, it's just about like whatever the format, whatever form it comes, are these scripts interesting? Would I want to watch this as an audience? And am I offering up something different to what people have seen of me before? And The Tourist just answered all of those questions for me. So yeah, I was excited to jump in.
Over the course of this series, how do you think, what are some ways that you think the man finds himself both literally, like literal and literal sense that he doesn't use, but also in the figurative sense as well?
Well, sure. It's a bit of everything in there, because you're finding it. You're on that journey with him, and I think you're very much on his side for the most part. But some of the things that are revealed to him are really dark and morally not even questionable, morally corrupt, wrong, illegal. Um, that's an interesting journey to go on, both as an audience but as an actor, to go in that sense of discovery when some of it is light and funny and odd, and some of it's really really dark. It asks a lot of questions of the audience about you know uh, sort of um, like I don't know. It makes you question your instinct a lot, I think. Um, and if you're sort of on board with someone and then you find out something really horrific about someone, then you're like, oh, judgment. It brings your judgment into question in a big way, which I find really interesting. But it is sort of endlessly changing in his sense of discovery in terms of what we find out about him.
Yeah. And I would love to know what was the time difference? Like, how much time did you have in between, or the difference in filming Belfast and this series? And also, just now, what's it like doing award season stuff for Belfast and, having this show come out and then being so, like, vastly different in tone,
Yeah,
like the complete different ends of the spectrum?
I know, but that's just worked out so well. I love that. Like I love that it's that they're so different, um, and different tonally, different characters, but different medium. One's TV, one's film. I sort of love that. It sort of ends up being this thing. It's like everything you want it to kind of professionally look like as an actor. Like you're getting to offer up all this different stuff on different platforms, and it's been very cool. We finished Belfast in September 2020, and then I didn't start The Tourist till March 2021. So I had a pretty big gap there where I was to be honest, I was writing the whole time. I was writing a script with my friend, so thankfully I had a focus to put into and then start prepping on The Tourist once I knew I was doing that. But had to get myself in a very different headspace to enter into that world.
Well, thank you so much for your time. I can't wait for everyone to watch the series. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Trey. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Hi, Danielle. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm so excited to chat with
Good.
you today about The Tourist, a very intriguing and compelling series from what I've seen so far. I definitely like anything that I would have ever expected, but I didn't even know what to expect because the plot just throws you as soon as you like immediately begin the series. But first I wanted to ask you what drew you to the role of Helen because I feel like it's kind of a different role from you. But as the more we see of Helen, it also seems like it makes perfect sense considering other types of characters you've played. So, what drew you to Helen?
What really drew me to Helen is kind of just putting a really real person that people can relate to in a wild, wacky situation. Like she's kind of the grounding force of it. She's very much the truth teller. Like she's the one person you can trust is always telling you the truth. And then putting a character like that in a world where you have no idea what's going to happen, like there is action going on, there's crazy characters, there's like people trying to kill you, and you're like, what is happening? It's really fun to see how a person reacts to that, just like a regular person placed in this wild situation, how they react. And that was really, really fun to get to explore with Helen. And she's such a positive optimist, and it was definitely different. It was definitely different for me, but I do love characters that find their voices and find their confidence, and that part is definitely something I have done, and it was kind of fun to get to play the person before they get there.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. And speaking of this positive optimist, how do you think and why do you think Helen is intrigued and drawn to the man? Because I mean, some people may be like, okay, they ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just gonna leave it alone. But she is like compelled and just wants to be able to find out more information to solve just even more so kind of than he does. So
Yeah.
how do you explain the dynamic that they share?
I mean, I really think that she's been wanting to find a way to prove herself. Like, she really wants to be a cop. She has good instincts, and she has kind of always felt like maybe she didn't have the opportunity to, or like there was no confidence in her, confidence in her ability. And so then she meets this guy that actually is grateful that she's even taking an interest because he's scared and alone. And she's a good person that connects with people and actually wants to help, and there's a difference. Like, that's amazing. Like, so I think that ultimately she's just a good person that wants to help. And I think his trust is instinctive in her, and the fact that he places his trust in her makes her feel more confident to go ahead and actually explore and actually want to help, because it's actually having an effect on someone, and maybe she hasn't had the opportunity to do that in her life.
Yes, yes. And I have to ask, like, what was it like filming the show? Because I felt like every scene to me just looked very hot. And I was just like, I was breaking out to a sweat watching some of the scenes. So,
Yes.
what was it as hot as it appeared in person as it appears on the screen?
No, I mean, yes, at first. So for the first few episodes, when we're in the outback, that was the end of summer. And then the last few episodes, every time we're in the outback, we were freezing. I promise you,
Oh, wow.
we were so cold, and they sprayed us with like oil so that we looked sweaty because we were so cold in that time. So yeah, movie magic, a little bit of both.
Movie secret. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me, Danielle, and I can't wait for everyone to experience and watch The Tourist. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye.